Hey everybody, so I'm going to talk about the Kiely Rodni case, okay? And I'm about to call out a few people here. What in the hell is wrong with every single person in this investigation, okay? From start to finish, everybody involved, it seems to me that nobody gives a shit about this girl, okay? So we're going to go over some things that I have written down that needs to be talked about because nobody is saying this, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Okay, so first, let's talk about Sammy, who I think is a sociopath, and I'm going to tell you why. This girl has everybody snowed, okay? The mom, the cops, everybody. This girl has got everybody thinking that she was so close to Kylie, that they were like best friends, that she is so worried about her. She doesn't show it at all. Every single interview she's done, she's contradicted herself. Her story has changed. The girl is a liar. Her parents are connected. Her dad's a lawyer. Her mom's a private investigator, or vice versa, for a big company. Okay? She has connected, rich parents. So you know she's the kind of girl that is used to getting whatever she wants. She thinks she's all that. She thinks that she has this in the bag because she thinks, and she knows. I mean, she does. She's got everybody snowed. Even Kylie's mom. Now, wouldn't your first thing as a parent be like, okay, this Sammy is pretty much running the show over there, which should be everybody's first ding, ding, ding. This doesn't happen. What is going on here? So wouldn't your first thing as a mom be like, okay, so the mom did an interview. Oh, her friends have been so awesome. I mean, they've cooperated with the police. They've been so helpful. They've, done everything they can. That mom is snowed. But wouldn't you as a parent, right, be like, even if you didn't think they were involved in any way, wouldn't your first thing to her as Kylie's mom been, you're supposed to be her friend. You left her at a party that was so wild, so full of drugs, so out of control, and there was all weird dudes there, strangers, and you had a gut feeling in your gut, this is why you had to leave the party, right? But you left your best friend there, drunk, all by herself. That wouldn't happen, first of all. What kind of person would do that? You wouldn't leave your best friend drunk at a party by herself with all these random strangers and older guys. Not if you were her friend, right? They are not friends on Instagram or any other social media. How close could they be? They're not friends. Even on social media, your best friend is all over your social media. Okay. But she's up there giving these talks, and the cops, like, where did they get their certificate to be a cop? A Cracker Jack box? What kind of cops are going to let a teenage girl run the investigation? She's up there, she's got the mic, and everybody, she's going, oh, anybody with any tips or concerns or anything, or, call me. And the cops are basically having her investigate these, other people. Why is an 18-year-old girl running this investigation? And then you have to ask yourself, why has this girl inserted herself into this case so deeply? It's not because she cares. You can tell that if you've seen any interview she ever did. It's not because she cares. Maybe it's because she wants to stay close to the case. Maybe it's because she wants to control the narrative. She wants to control where the cops are looking. Which brings me to my next thing. Why are they still searching in the same place 14 days later? They've had cadaver dogs. They've searched all over the place. Cadaver dogs can pick up scents for like up to 30 miles. It's crazy. Why are they still there? Right? Why are they still there looking in a place where she's not at? Like, because they're being told that that's the last place she was seen. Nobody knows that that's the last place she was seen. Every single thing from this case has came from the friends. From the very beginning, the friends are the only people that say she was at a party, that say what she did when she was at the party, that can say that when they left the party, everything is coming from the friends. Why are the friends not being investigated? Why are the cops not looking at the friends? Because they'd be my first thing. I'd collect their phones. I would get everything they had. And that's not even happening. Is it because Sammy's parents are so connected and they want to sweep this under the rug? Well, they got to protect their daughter. But not only that, they have to save their own names from being drugged in the dirt. Like, their careers would be over if people found out that she killed Kylie, that Sammy killed Kylie, and her parents either knew about it, covered it up. They would be run out of the air. Like, they'd have to move. Their careers would be over. People all over would hate, it would be terrible for them. So they can't let that happen, right? And they're connected enough to where they've got the cops in their pockets. They've got lawyers and all these top people in their pockets. And they have all this money. You know what that buys you? Silence. I mean, it's crazy. The whole thing. And I'm sorry. I know people don't want to call out the parents because then you're a bad person. But why is her mom the way she is? Why is her mother there listening to people saying and eating food? And they say, oh, all this stuff is to like for the rescuer or for the searchers to like come in and, get searchers down here. I'm sorry, but if my daughter was missing and has been missing, I would not be able to be there, just doing nothing, just hanging out. And this Sammy chick would sure as shit not be running the show. I can tell you that. And any other mother out there would tell you that. I mean, don't you guys think that's totally crazy? They are Sammy, Mags, Jagger. Well, he was out of town with his dad or whatever. But if he's gonna be on there saying, "Oh, I know she's safe. I know she's in a safe place. We're gonna bring Sammy home." Nobody would be saying that. How can you know she's safe when you don't know what happened to her? How can you know you're gonna bring her home safe when you don't know what happened to her? You weren't even in town that day. So, from the cops from this police station, if you ever live in this area, man, I am sorry, because you might have the worst police station ever. If they are letting this girl who's 18 years old and her friends run this investigation, think about it. Everything that came from the case, the only people that know about it are these kids. This is where all the information has come from. These kids that weren't her friends. They were not friends. And you know what else nobody's talking about? Is they didn't even go to school together. She went to a private charter school. Kylie did. Okay? Why did she have to leave? Nobody's asking. Why did she have, because they did go to school together at one point. So, why did she have to leave school? Why did Kylie have to leave school and enter a private school? Right? Nobody's asking that question. Maybe it could possibly have something to do with the two girls that are involved in this story. The two girls that are the closest to this story. Her friends. Her friends. It could have been, I don't know this for sure, but it could have been bullying. It could have been anything. Like, why did she have to leave school to go to this private school? What happened that she had to be ripped out of school and put into a private school? Because something happened. You don't just do that for no reason. What else do I want to bring up? Oh my gosh, there's so much. Like this case bothers the shit out of me. And then you've got people, all right, let's go into the true crime community real quick. This Iqmal character. What in the hell is wrong with this guy? Because he's got people on there. He's got talking to him, and he don't want to call anybody out. He's like, oh, I believe this guy. This guy sounds credible to me. Let's not call him out. I'm trying to, gain trust. Listen, you're not out here to make friends. You're supposed to be finding Kylie. That's your job. You have to ask the tough questions. You have to be the one to, say it like it is. Are you out here to make friends, or are you out here to help find this girl? Because you can't be like that. You can't dismiss stuff that you don't think is important or you don't think matters. We're trying to figure out what happened to her, because there's not one person in her life that has come forward with anything. It's so crazy. It's either the biggest cover-up, which is why nobody's talking, because there's money involved. There's, with her family being connected and being, top people and big names around that area, they wouldn't want any of this to come out, and they could pay enough money to where they made sure this didn't come out. Okay? So, you've got that, which, I'm sorry, but there has to be somebody out there that's involved in the police station. There's got to be somebody out there, though, that's sitting there going, this is not right. This is bullshit. Like, we need to be looking at these kids. This is crazy. They know what happened. They know. They're the only ones that know. Okay? And then I'm going to tell you the theory on all this stuff that's going on with this Ronnie character, right? This Ronnie character, and then you got the Myro character. Okay? So, Myro's a drug dealer. If you watched any Upchurch's videos, so this guy's on the phone telling him, this is this Ronnie guy, right? So Upchurch Google views it, sees a guy sitting next to a red, I don't know what it was, a red car. And this is back in 2016, right? The same guy he went to his Instagram. It's the same guy that was sitting there in the photo, okay? The guy that called Upchurch was like, Upchurch got his information. He tracked the phone back and seen that it was coming from this dude's address, right? So he's on the phone with this guy, and he's like, hey, bro, how come when I track this phone back, it pings to this address, the one you're saying this Ronnie character lives at? And the guy's like, no, I'm in Roseville or whatever. He's like, no, you're not. I pinged the phone. You're literally right where you're saying this guy is. So let me put this theory out there. This guy on the phone, okay, and the guy, Ronnie, right, could live together. They could both be drug dealers. Like, you don't know that, but nobody's saying that. It's so crazy. And let me tell you this, that I think this guy that called in and said, oh, I wasn't at the party, but my cousins were at the party, okay? This is the only other, besides those friends, this is the only other person that said they had information about the party, okay? So the friends say, yeah, she got pretty drunk, she was messed up, and we left, okay? Then you got this character who wants to call out and say, yeah, I wasn't at the party, my cousins were at the party, and they said Kylie was there, and yeah, she was pretty wasted, and, she was a little out of control. Basically just putting out there something that backed up the friend's story, right? The friends they were smart enough to know that they need at least one other person to come forward and back up their story, right? Of how they left her there, she was drunk, whatever, which we've already covered, friends would not have done. Okay, so they're known drug dealers. Upchurch proved that this Miro was a drug dealer or whatever, right? So, and they lived an hour and 32 minutes away from where the party took place, okay? They live an hour away from them. How far of a stretch of the imagination would it be to say this guy could have been Sammy's dealer? I mean, yeah, you drive an hour, go pick up your shit, drive home. That's not that big, like that's what people would do, right? So, let's say, following my theory, let's say that that Sammy was like, okay, I need somebody to back up my story, so I'm gonna go to you. And she could have easily said to him, you either find a way to back up my story and get them leading in the same direction, or I'm gonna turn you in for being a drug dealer. That, how far of a stretch of imagination could that be, knowing that Sammy's done the things she's done already, right? So what else? There's a lot of other things I got written down here. Let me just see. When Sammy was doing this, when she was talking, had the microphone at the site where the search place was taking place, it was like listening to somebody talk about their give a speech at a friend's birthday or some kind of gathering, right? It was not a speech that would come from a best friend who's in search of her missing best friend and doesn't know what happened to her. They were laughing, they were giggling, and it's the most ridiculous. Dude, does nobody see this? Point the finger at the people closest to the investigation. Who are those people? Mags and Sammy, but really Sammy. And she's one of those people, like I said, that thinks she can get away with anything, that's used to getting away with everything, that has money, don't have to worry about it. And Mag seems like a very more, how do I want to say this, quiet type of person, where she would easily be led by Sammy wherever Sammy wanted her to go. Okay, so let me just say that. What else? And if you notice, when Sammy gives her interviews, when she gave those interviews and she was sitting in the car and she was talking, and when she was telling them what had happened, she'd go like this a lot. She'd go like this a lot when she was talking, like she was trying to remember what she was supposed to memorize to say. If you notice that, and you can look it up, like they say that if you're looking in a certain direction, it means something about what you're doing, right? It's like a tell. She did that throughout the whole entire thing. Like she was like, all right, this is what I had to say, trying to remember and trying to say it at the same time. So look for that in case people didn't notice that. Because apparently nobody involved really cares enough about Kylie to come to speak up and say, listen, this is what happened, or I know what happened, or where is she? Like at least let her, you can call in anonymously, at least let her know what the hell happened to her daughter. But like I said, I'm not so sure about her in any way. I'm not so sure about the mom, because I can tell you that my ass would not be there at that search place. There's no way. Listen, we've been here. Nobody's found anything. Let's go. I'm trying to find my daughter. Like, I'd be out there on my own doing what I had to do, tracking down who I had to track down. And I'm going to tell you that Sammy would be first on my list. That girl knows what happened. That girl knows. And she's going to get away with it unless people start turning the finger on her. I mean, so what? Her parents are connected and have money. It doesn't matter. Like, Kylie is missing. Doesn't she at least deserve to, have people know what happened to her? At least find her? I mean, it's sickening to me. Seriously, it is. Okay, so when Sammy said she left the party early, she got a ride. So it's funny because she asked Kylie for a ride. Then she said, walked away and went and found another ride. Now, why? She goes, I'm going to go look for a ride. Now, why would you need to go look for a ride when she just told her she would give her a ride? Her story just doesn't make any sense. And Mags, she's like, oh, I rode to the party with Kylie. This is important. I rode to the party with Kylie. I didn't plan on staying there, so I was only there 10 minutes and I left with my boyfriend. Nobody's asking these questions. Why would you go to the party then if you didn't want to be there and you weren't going to be there and you were just going to leave? Why would you go? The only one reason. There's only one thing that makes any sense. They needed to put Kylie at that party, right? They needed to put her there. So Mag said, I got to ride with Kylie because nobody can prove anything else. It's duh. Where else would she have gone? She didn't go wanting to go. She's like, oh, I didn't want to go. You know, I wanted to leave. So why'd you go? Except to be able to put Kylie at the party. Okay. And Sammy. So she says she was the last person to see or talk to Kylie. Or no, she was the last person to talk to Kylie. But she left the party before Kylie did. So how would she know she was the last person to talk to Kylie? That's what I'm saying. Like, her story makes 0 sense. No sense at all. Why is she not the prime suspect? Her story doesn't make any sense, and nobody's questioning that. Every single time she talks, she lies. Every single time she talks, she contradicts her story that she made previously. The girl is a liar. And I do believe she's a sociopath. But she's slipping up. And they always will. They always will slip up. Somebody will turn on somebody. Listen, that's just, it always happens. But it doesn't make any sense. If you left the party before Kylie, how do you know you're the last person to talk to her? That's just a dumb thing to even say. And why is nobody, where's Mag's boyfriend? The boyfriend that she left the party with 10 minutes after she got there. She left with him, right? Where is he? Why hasn't he come forward? Why isn't anybody talking to the boyfriend? Is anybody even investigating this case? Seriously. I'm not, it's not looking like it. Like, who's running this operation down there? Alright, I'm looking to see what else I got on here. And we can't forget that Jagger used to date Sammy. Jagger and Sammy used to date. And then they broke up. And then he started dating Kylie. Let's not pretend that this kind of thing has not happened before. I think Sammy is a very jealous person because she does think she's all that. She's got money. She's used to getting away with everything. She's used to never being held accountable for anything. So when there's somebody else that's got something that she wants, or she is jealous of that person, she's the type that would go through no length. There's no length she wouldn't go through to take care of her jealousy problem. You don't need to be a shrink to see that. This is probably one of the dumbest things, the craziest but dumbest things, right? There's this big party. 300 plus people are there. Most of them teenagers. And you're going to tell me not one person took video? The only photos, was there 2 or 3 photos that came out? And it's a group of people. I'd say there's probably, I didn't count them. I'd say, I don't know, 40 people maybe standing like right in this area. There's no timestamp on it. There's no date on it. No one knows when that picture was taken or where that picture came from. Okay? But teenagers post everything. They post to social media freaking hundreds of times a day. Okay? They take picture and video of everything they do. But not one video has come out. Not one video. Oh, and by the way, if you know what it's like, say you have a, group, I'm sure, everybody, who hasn't had a group of people over at their house, having drinks, whatever. It's always a wreck after, right? It's always a wreck, because you don't clean up in the middle of it. And certainly, not a bunch of drunk teenagers are going to think about cleaning up their mess. So, 300 plus people. It's wild, it's out of control, there's drugs and drinking everywhere. Where's the mess? There's video and cameras all around there. There's no mess. A park ranger, get away from me, came out and said that there was, the park ranger there or whatever, came out and said there was no party. So, you know, I don't know about that, but that's it. Listen, this is my theory. This is what I think happened, and I want to know. And I think people need to be called out for not pushing hard enough, for not doing their jobs. And I think it's corruption, and I think it's bullshit, and I think Kylie is just going to be another victim of that, and that's bullshit. Look into Sammy. Sammy and the friends. They know more than they're telling you. And I think they're directly involved, but that's just me. See, this whole story doesn't make sense. Oh, and another thing. The friends, Sammy, has created a GoFundMe for Kylie. Okay, hashtag find Kylie. She created a GoFundMe. Last time I checked, there was like $10,000 or something in the account. But what happens, say they find Kylie and she's dead, okay? The friends created the account. Who gets that money? Does it go to the friends? Because that's motive. I mean, that's just, you know, them collecting off things they did. But that, unless there should be, I don't know how it works, so, but there should be, like that should go to Kylie's, you know, funeral and all of that. You know, that should be what that money has to go for. Oh, my turkey's over here chasing my chicken around. Sorry. Okay, now, a lot of people are saying it could have been an accidental OD. She could have accidentally OD'd, right? If your friend, I don't give a shit. If your best friend, if you and your best friend were at a party, okay, and your friend OD'd, yeah, you know you done drugs, you know, that's, aren't you still gonna pick up the phone and call 911? Yeah, you would. For somebody you cared about, you would. You would still call 911. Who cares if you get in trouble? Your friend's gonna die, you know? So I don't buy that. I don't buy that one bit. I don't think that's at all what happened. But, it's just crazy. And it's Sammy referred to the party as Lord of the Flies. This is important because, have you ever read the book Lord of the Flies? The book is about a group of young boys who find themselves alone on a deserted island with no adults. The boys eventually become violent and brutal, right? Descent into chaos. Human nature is fundamentally savage. Isn't that weird that she used that reference? Because in fact, could it be because in fact, her and her friends did the same thing to Kylie? Turned on them, or turned on her? They weren't her friends. I gotta stop saying that, but that's what everybody keeps saying. They were not friends. Okay, so again, I'm gonna go back to Sammy. Sammy went in her first interview said there was no one there that was suspicious. No one followed them around. They didn't get any unwanted attention. Everything was fine. In her next statement, okay, there was a lot of guys who did approach us. I got the gut feeling that something wasn't right. These were older guys. Lie. Which is it? Which is it? You know, she's a liar. And I don't understand how she's made all... Okay, now, everybody and their mother is making money off of this case with all these videos, right? So, this Ickmo, I don't know you, you don't know me, but you're here to find Kylie, right? You're here not just to make money, but to find Kylie. This goes for all of you other true crimers out there who don't want to call people out, who want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Listen, at this point, everybody's suspect. That's how it should be. But definitely at the top of my list would be her friends. Suspect 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's go down the list. Because it feels like nobody is even, like, it's just the most craziest case I've ever freaking had to see. You know? It's crazy. You're not here to make friends, true crime people. You are here to call people out, to get facts, to help find Kylie, to help get information. Like, just do that then. Don't worry about hurting people's feelings. Don't worry about being, PC. Upchurch, I think, is the only one who's out there. He's like, I don't give a shit what, people can get mad at me. People can say what they want. I'm here to find Kylie, not to make y'all happy, right? And another thing, if you have 300 plus people at a party, not all those people are going to be friends, right? Not all those people are going to get along. So you would have at least somebody that's came out with information or video or anything else from that party that supposedly happened. The only people that put Kylie there was her friends. They're the only people that claim a party ever even happened. And people are not like, ding, ding, ding. It's so crazy to me. Everybody from the sheriff's office, the police who are investigating it, to her mom, to her friends, to everybody needs to be called out because nobody's doing what's best for Kylie. Nobody's doing the right thing. Open up your freaking eyes. Screw it. So what? How can money be more important than a life if that's what this is all about? Yeah, I think a big thing is the switching schools, and nobody's talking about that. Why did she have to leave school? And another thing, Kylie's vehicle was spotted. I saw this, and nobody else has said anything about it. I saw it one person's video, or no, it wasn't even. It was on Twitter, I think. But I think it was. But anyway, I haven't seen one other person say it. Her vehicle was last seen driving into a gated community with Jagger in the car. And, nobody knows. It was a blonde girl driving. That could have been Sammy. That could have been Mags. That could have been Kylie. But her vehicle was never seen again. Nobody can find it. Well, think about it. If it is in a gated community, and you got to think, totally could be with her parents, and her money, right? But if it is in a gated community, you would need a warrant to go in, and you would need a warrant to go into somebody's garage, right? They don't have enough evidence to do that. And do you know why they don't have enough evidence? Because nobody's fucking looking at Sammy. Nobody's looking at the friends. This is so ridiculous. You could send regular people in there to start investigating this case, and they would do more than is being done. Have you ever in your life heard of police letting teenagers talk to other teenagers about the case and them not get involved? Like letting them handle investigating and talking to other kids? That does not happen. What in the hell is going on here? That does not happen in real life. And you know what else? Weird. Sammy said she was leaving to go, she left the party, right? She said she was leaving the party and she was going to go hook up with Mags afterwards. Why would you have to leave the party? That doesn't make any sense. So Mags rode there with Kylie, right? rode with Kylie, but left the party 10 minutes later. Then you got Sammy, who says she, when she decided she was going to leave the party, she was going to hang out with Mags. Why? Y'all were just at the same party, right? You were just at the same place. Why do you have to leave to go hang out? That doesn't make any sense. This is so stupid. None of these stories make any sense. Hello? Because they're all coming from the people that are involved, the people that have come up with this whole entire story. Sammy and her friends. That's the only information highway that anybody's gotten any information from. It blows my mind. And you'd think if there was a party and there was 300 other people there, people would be going through their videos and photos like maybe I caught something. Just, you know, you'd be handing in what you had. Not one person has come forward. This is totally fucking crazy. I've just never seen anything like this in my entire life. Nobody is looking out for Kylie's best interests, I feel like. I feel like nobody really cares. This whole thing is a circus. I mean, what is going on? What in the hell is going on? And who in the hell is letting this happen? Comment below. I'll probably do another video on this, I'm not sure, but I mean, I feel like all these people need to be called out. Every single one of them needs to be called out because nobody is doing anything. They're all looking in the wrong direction because they're being pointed in the wrong direction by the one person who's inserted herself into this case the most. Suspect number 1. Sammy Smith needs to be investigated and arrested because she is definitely involved. I say we, like everybody on YouTube, everybody on social media, everybody on YouTube, need to make sure that that happens. Because if we don't, if nobody stays on top of this, that girl's gonna get away with it because she has parents with money. And that is bullshit. So please like this video, please share it, please get it out there because all these people need to be called out on their shit. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. But I'm gonna go so I can get this up. I hope you guys like the video, and yeah, just look at everything. None of it makes any sense. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.